Hello, so today's video is going to be on best buys, finding the best value for money, and this is a grade 3/4 topic at GCSE. Up on the screen now I've got the question generator, which I'll come back to shortly, but these are the 4 types of questions that I'm going to go through, so if you've got a question that looks like any of these, you can follow through the example to help you. Okay, so with this topic, the key things that I've picked out from previous topics that you need to be comfortable with are finding the highest common factor and lowest common multiple of two numbers. You also need to be able to multiply and divide decimals with and without a calculator, as this is the kind of topic that could come up in either of the papers. Percentages, both finding percentage of amount and also percentage increase and decrease, would also be very useful. So the first example that I'm going to go through is where you are given 2 offers in a shop. You can either, in this case, get 4 litres of orange juice for £7.76, or you can get 20 litres of orange juice for £39.20. Now, to find the best value for money, the key thing here is to make sure that the quantities that you are working with are the same. So in this case, if I just write out over here offer A and offer B over here, we get 4 litres of orange juice for £7.76, or we can get 20 litres of orange juice for £39.20. So like I say, the key thing here is to look at these 2 quantities. To be able to compare and see which is the best value for money, we need to make the quantities the same, so then I can compare the price, and the one with the lowest price is going to be the best value for money. So in this case, we're looking at the 4 litres and the 20 litres. Now there's a couple of different ways of doing this. What you could do is you could find a common multiple or a common factor of both of those numbers. Remember, a multiple is a number in the times tables, a factor is a number that goes into each of them. So I'm going to start by if this is 4 litres for £7.76 and this is 20 litres for £39.20, you'll notice that 4 goes nicely into 20. So if I could find the cost of 20 litres on offer A, I could compare that to this value here. So we need to see how many lots of 4 litres would make 20. So you can see over here that if I bought 5 lots of 4 litres, that would give me 20. So to do that, I need to find out the value of the 20 litres. I need to do that £7.76, and I'm also timesing that by 5. So using my calculator, I'm now going to do 7.76, multiply that by 5, and that tells me, remember to use this S to D button, that it would be, if I were to buy 5 lots of 4 litres from offer A, then that would give me £38.80. Remember, with money it's always got to be to 2 decimal places. So after you've done that, make sure you actually answer the question. Which of these 2 is best value for money? Well, we're getting the same amount, 20 litres, for £38.80 here. So in this case, the best value for money is offer A. Don't do all the hard work calculations and then forget to actually answer what the question is asking you. In this case, which one is the best value for money? Okay, so that's the first example. The next example, we've got 2 offers again, this time on eggs. So I'm going to write out offer A and offer B over here, and I'm just going to start by writing what I get and for how much. So I get 20 eggs for £3.60 over here, or I get 12 eggs for £2.40 over here. Okay, So you could always find, in an example like this, you could find the cost of 1 egg for each one. You could find the cost of 2 eggs. It doesn't matter as long as it's the same for both for both offers. Now, unlike the last question, in the last question, 4 went nicely into that 20. That won't always happen. So here, for example, there's no number you can multiply 12 by, no whole number you can multiply 12 by to get to 20, and there's no whole number you can multiply 20 by to get to 12. So what we actually need to do is look at these two quantities, 12 and 20, and I'm just going to think of a number that goes nicely into both of those numbers. Doesn't necessarily have to be the highest one, as long as it's the same. So, for example, in this case, 4 goes nicely into both of those numbers. It goes nicely into 20 and it goes not nicely into 12. So with offer A, if I've got the cost of 20, to find the cost of 4, I'm going to divide that by 5. So I'm also going to divide this one by 5 as well. Now £3.60 divided by 5 tells me that 4 eggs would cost 72 pence. And then over here, 12 divided by something gives me 4. That something is 3. So I need to do the same over here as well. £2.40 divided by 3 gives me 80 pence. So in this case, again, offer A is the best value for money. Is best value. Just to demonstrate a point, it doesn't matter if what number you chose. So for example here, if I found the cost of 2 eggs instead, I've divided that by 10 and I've divided this by 10. That would tell me that 2 eggs would cost 36p using offer A, and to find the cost of 2 eggs here, I would have divided that by 6 and divided that by 6. So that tells me that was 40p. It's these two values comparing to find out. You could also have found the cost, you could have looked at a number in your 20 times table, or your 12 times table, for example 60, and then found the cost of 60 eggs. It really doesn't matter, it's as long as the quantity is the same, then you can compare the price. Okay, watch out for these sorts of questions. So with this question here, the key, it's similar, but the key thing is that the units you are given are different. In order to do these types of questions, the first thing I want you to check is to see whether or not the units are the same. Now, for this one, I should have also put in here converting metric units, especially for this question. Okay, so you need to know that 1 litre is the same as 1,000 millilitres. So again, I'm just going to start by writing out offer A. You get 0.3 litres for 55 pence, and over here offer B, you get 1,100 millilitres for £1.99. Okay, so the first thing you need to do here is to make sure the units are the same. So it doesn't matter if you convert this one into 0.3 litres into millilitres, or you could convert 1,100 millilitres into litres. Just to make it so that I've got one less decimal to work with, I'm actually going to convert this into millilitres. So to go from litres into millilitres, we are timesing by 1,000. So this tells me 0.3 times 1,000 would give me 300 millilitres for £0.55. Okay, now it's these two values I need to look at. So if I think of a nice number that goes into both 300 and 1,100, I'm going to find the cost of 100 millilitres. Again, you could find the cost of 50 millilitres, 10 millilitres, 20 millilitres, because all of those numbers go nicely into both 300 and 1,100. Okay, So if I have the cost of 300 millilitres, if I divide that by 3, that will give me the cost of 100 millilitres. So I'm just going to use my calculator again quickly. So let's switch to that one. Where's it gone? There it is. Okay. So we're going to do 0.55. We're dividing that by 3. Now, I would suggest you write out, even though you can't have 0.183333 pounds, I'd suggest writing it out, because sometimes the two values you get will be so close that you will need to go to an extra decimal place to be able to compare them. Sometimes, not always. Okay, so now over here we're going to do the same to find out the cost of 100 millilitres. So because there are 11 100s in 1100, I'm dividing by 11. If you're ever not sure what this number is you're dividing by, in your calculator you could just do 1100 divided by 100 and it will tell you what you're dividing by. So over here I'm also going to divide by 11 and then go back to my calculator. So 1.99 divided by 11, and that gives me 0.180909 pounds. So this is an example of where the values are so close that you do need to go to an extra decimal place, because if both of these were just to 2 decimal places, they would both come out as 18 pence or 0.18 pounds. So we're looking now for the lowest of these two values. The lowest of these two values is this one here. Therefore, in this case, offer B is the best value for money. Okay, so that is the third type of question. The fourth type of question, let's have a look at this one. Okay, so this brings in some percentages as well. So you've got two offers. As always, you have offer A and offer B over here. Okay, so the price we're given in each of these questions is not the price we pay. This is the price it's advertised at, but then we're told that offer A even has 20% off the cost that is shown. So the first thing we need to do is work out how much we're actually paying for each of these things. So I want to find 20% of £26.32 and then subtract that from the cost to find the actual cost. Let's just write actual cost. Remember, decreasing amount by 20% is the same as finding 80% of that amount. So you could either find 20% of £26.32 and then take that away from £26.32, or I'm going to find 80% of £26.32, and 80% as a decimal is 0.8. So just in my calculator, I'm going to switch to that one. I'm going to do 0.8 times £26.32, and that will tell me that I'm actually getting 39 croissants for the price 21.056. Again, I'm writing out the whole answer, and that's 39. Just write C for croissants. So that's offer 1. Offer 2, I'm getting 10% off £3.67. Remember, that is the same as 90% of £3.67, so that should be 67 pence. So Finding the actual cost, what I pay for those 6 croissants, I'm going to do 0.9 times £3.67. Back to my calculator. 0.9 times 3.67 is equal to 3.303 pounds. So that tells me that I'm getting 6 croissants for £3.303. Okay. So now what we want to do is we have the cost, the actual cost using those offers of 39 croissants and 6 croissants. So now I have those quantities. I need to make them the same so that I can then compare the costs and decide which one is the best value for money. So looking at the 39 and the 6, a nice number that goes into both of those would be 3. You could find the cost of 1 if you wanted. So how many 3s are there in 39? We are actually dividing by 13 here. So I would need to do the same over here as well. And then over here, I'm dividing by 2. So if I clear the calculator and do 21.056, divide that by 13 to find the cost of 3 croissants. That's going to be 1.6196, and I'll just leave that there. And then the second one, offer B, £3, 3.303 pounds. Dividing that by 2, that tells me that offer B, I'm actually getting 3 croissants for 1.6515 pounds. Okay, again, these values are really close. So the lowest value one is actually, in this case, offer A is the best value. And that's it. That's those 4 examples. So if I go back to the question generator, I will upload a link to this in the YouTube description so you can download this and practice this on your own. When you open the file, as always, there'll be a little yellow ribbon that appears at the top. That will either say, there'll be a button in that says either enable content or enable macros. If you click that, then these buttons will work. If you don't click that, they won't work. So you can generate lots of different questions, as many as you need, and get the answers one at a time or all at once. If you wanted to work on a particular type of question, you can click on the drop down box here, and maybe you just want to work on the second type of example that I did and generate questions like that. When you get the hang of all of these questions, I would suggest trying a mixture of questions, because that way I don't tell you what kind of difficulty it is, and you just have to use everything that you know to answer those questions in, and that's a really good way of revising. That's it. I hope it's useful. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.